Hi again, and welcome back to Reignite Your Creative Spark. And today we're going to look at a very simple improv technique to really boost listening. This is great being used in any team environment, and as you've noticed over the last couple of weeks, when I talk about team, it's any cluster of people. It's a family, it is a work-based team, it's a community club, it could be a group that you work with, a group of young people, a group of older people, people that need to get along and achieve some sort of common goal. This is where this technique is coming in very, very handy. I've used this with a wide variety of clients, and I have to say, when I watch people carry out this technique, I can really see it working, because this game is designed to make you stop and think before you give a response back to the other person. So I'm going to introduce you to the technique, and it's first letter, last letter. So with any group, what I would do is I would split the group into pairs, or if you're working in a wider group and you want to make sure that everybody tunes into the one conversation, what you can do is everyone says a sentence in turn as it moves around the circle. So it's one sentence, then the next sentence to the next person, and the next sentence to the next person. The game or the exercise is very, very simple. When you speak to whoever you're speaking to, they have to wait, and whatever response they give to whatever you've said has to begin with the last letter of the last word that you have just said. So for example, if I spoke to this fantastic Hand here and I said, "How are you?" Hand, very sophisticated here, Hand has to start Hand's response with the letter U. So Hand would say, "Understandably good. How are you?" I've just cocked myself out rotten there because I've just got another U back. So I start my response with U. "Unusually great for a Sunday." Of course, I finished with a Y. Hand now has to start Hand's response with a Y. "Yesterday, I felt pretty grim, but today, for a Sunday, I'm in a great mood." My last letter there is D, so I have to start with D. What you'll notice practicing this game is the other person cannot prepare the response to what you're saying. They can't jump ahead, because they don't know when your sentence is going to finish. So they have to tune in and use a form of listening called active listening all the way through what you say. I don't know if you've noticed in everyday conversations, I've noticed it, and I have to say I'm often blind to when I do it. When you're having a conversation with somebody, you notice the point at which they switch off. Something you've said has triggered something in them. Perhaps they've said something that, or you've said something that they don't agree with. And the minute you said the piece that they don't agree with, they're immediately switching off and formulating their response based on what's triggered them over here. That's all well and good, but who knows? That piece that they've missed could have justified everything that you said before and helped them see what you were saying in a whole different light. Imagine all the pieces, if we brought together all the bits of conversation that get filtered out because we're so busy preparing our responses to what's being said. There's so much richness in that conversation. There's so much being overlooked. The great thing about first letter, last letter is it really forces you to concentrate. Now, a few tips on using this exercise. You will find at the start some of the letters like U and X are really, really tricky. And you're going to take a bit of time to come up with a response. There is no time limit on this exercise. Ideally, if you have 5 minutes to give to this, give it that time at least. You can talk about whatever you want. It can be an informal or formal conversation. But the great thing is the listening is strengthened. Over time, as you get comfortable with it, you're going to find that the responses are more like a regular conversation. They'll be coming in thick and fast, with one key difference. You're both actively listening to each other right to the end of the sentence. And I think it's such a valuable thing. So many things distract us these days. Sounds, people, social media, technology. It is a great thing to give each other that time right to the end of what they say. And not only that, it's that additional understanding that we can get from hearing something right the way to the end, where the kernel of the meaning of what somebody has in their message could be right at the end of the conversation and right at the end of the sentence. And if we've tuned out, we'll have missed it. So that's why first letter, last letter is so, so very important as a technique to use in any group, any team, no matter what they are or who they are. So that's the technique for this week, first letter, last letter. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you're new to the site and you've just come across this, pop your name and your email address into the box above my head, and what I do every week is I send you a simple technique using improvisation, which I think is amazing, to help you reignite your creative spark. So until next week, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.